I, Assistant Professor Milan V. Patel from Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari, welcomes you in video lecture of the chapter number 2, Solar Energy, from the subject Renewable Energy Systems for the ME Semester 1 of Electrical Engineering Department. Today, I will discuss the topic Solar Energy Applications. Now, flow of contents. First one is solar water heating. Second one is solar cooling. Third one is solar drying process. Then last one is solar distillation process. Now, first one is solar heating. Now, there are main two types of solar heatings are there. First one is active and second one is passive. In active solar heating, it relies on the electric pump to circulate the water, and for passive system it is use thermodynamics law for the circulate the water. Means in a passive system it will use the natural circulation of the water. Now, for active solar water heating systems are most commonly used in the residential and commercial applications. Now, solar water heaters have main three components. First one is solar collector, then insulated piping, and then last one is the hot water storage tank. Now, with the freezing temperature of the colder regions, an indirect system is used. Now, in this case, an antifreeze solution such as non-toxic propylene glycol is heated in the solar collector and it flows to the heat exchanger on the hot water storage tank, and the heat exchanger transfers the heat from the antifreeze solution and warming the storage tank filled with the potable water. This hot water is used on demand while the antifreeze solution is recycled back to solar collector for reheating. In either case, the properly designed installed solar water heating system can provide up to 80% of the home buildings hot water need. Now, this is the schematic diagram for the solar water heater, in which it mainly consists of solar water tank, solar collector, this is the piping for the solar fluid, antifreeze solar fluid, this is the piping for the hot water and hot water outlet, and this blue pipe is for the cold water inlet. Same here, this is the red pipe for the hot antifreeze material and this is blue for the cold antifreeze material. Now, this solar heat collector will collect the heat from the solar radiation and it transfer the heat to the antifreeze solution, and it will give heat to this water which is placed in the stainless steel tank or potable hot water, and due to this heat exchanger this heat will transfer to this potable water, and this hot water will be used from this pipe, and another cold water is supplied from this inlet of the cold water, and after transferring the heat, the cold antifreeze material is again take away and again it will give to the solar heat collector, and this process is continue, and you will get hot water continuously from this hot water outlet. Now, the advantages of the solar water heating. The main advantage is the cost saving and availability of the power, and the disadvantages are corrosion problem is the main problem, and second one is solar water heater requires sufficient roof space to accommodate them, must required roof space, and third one is the solar water heaters require direct sunlight to function, so it will work only in bright sunny days. Then the system does not function on cloudy and rainy or foggy days. Annual maintenance is recommended to check the pump and antifreeze material. Circulating pumps must be checked and antifreeze material is also be maintained. Then installation required the use of new hot water cylinders. So these are the disadvantage of the solar water heater. Now second application is solar cooling. Now solar cooling applications are very useful as air conditioning represents a major strain on the electrical grid when weather is very hot outside in summer. So also referred to as solar assisted cooling. Properly sized residential solar cooling systems may also be used for space heating during winter months. So this same system is used as space heating in winter months. So it is very useful regarding heating and cooling, both the purposes in different seasons. So absorption chiller system and the desiccant systems are the main two types of the solar cooling system. But the most commonly used system is absorption chiller system, in which solar water heating collectors and thermal chemical absorption process is take place to generate air conditioning with no electricity used in the process. So the process is very similar to a refrigerator, except that a compressor is not employed in solar cooling. Instead, heated liquid from the solar collector drives the absorption cycle. Now this is the basic schematic diagram of the solar cooling. It mainly consists of solar collector, heat exchanger, turbine, compressor, and this is a evaporation cycle. So first of all, sun radiation is collected by the heat collector and it will convert the solar radiation into heat energy, and it will give heat energy to this water by this heat exchanger, and due to heat from the heat exchanger, this water will be converted into the steam, and this steam will run this turbine, and after turbine wet steam is given to the condenser, and this condenser will condense this wet steam, and again it will use by this circulating pump and given to again this heat exchanger. It will again use for this turbine purpose, and this compressor is mechanically coupled with the turbine, and due to rotation of this turbine, the compressor will action in this picture, and compressor will start its works, and our cooling cycle will complete by this compressor. So this compressor will compress the refrigerant gas and it give it to the condenser. Condenser give this to the expansion valve, and after expansion valve evaporator is there. This evaporator will chill this space which we want to cool. So evaporator will evaporate the air in space which we want to cool. So this is the schematic diagram of the solar cooling. The second type of solar cooling system is a desiccant system, in which air is cooled by passing over a common desiccant such as a silica gel, which draws out the humidity from the air, making it feel more comfortable. And solar heat is used to dry out the desiccant, refrigerating it for reuse. So now advantages of the solar cooling. First, it is an environment friendly, low running cost, energy independent, and there are some disadvantages of it. So first one is large initial cost, and second one is the dependent on the weather condition. So now third application is drying. So this is a traditional method of utilizing solar energy for drying of agricultural and animal products. Now this is the simple basic schematic diagram for the solar drying application. Agriculture products are dried in a simple cabinet dryer which consists of a box insulated at the base and painted black on the inner side and covered with an inclined transparent sheet of glass. At the base and at the top of the side, ventilation holes are provided to facilitate the flow of air over the drying material, which is placed on perforated trays inside the cabinet. And these perforated trays or racks are carefully designed to provide controlled exposure to the solar radiation. Solar drying is specially for the fruits improved its quality as the sugar concentration increases on drying. So normally soft fruits are particularly vulnerable to insect attack as the sugar content increase on drying, but in a fruit dryer considerable time is saved by quicker drying and minimizing the gap of chances of insect attack. And the present practice of drying chilies by spreading them on the floor not only requires a lot of open space and manual labors for the material handling, but it becomes difficult to maintain its quality and taste unless drying is done in a controlled atmosphere. Moreover, the products being sun dried very often get spoiled due to the sudden rain, dust, storm, or by birds. So it is affected by natural things like rain, dust, storms, and birds, etc., etc. Besides, reports several that it is not possible to attain very low moisture content in the sun dried chilies. So this very low moisture content will attained by solar drying. As a result, the chilies become prone to attack by fungi and bacteria. In sun drying, sometimes the product is over dried and its quality is lost. So this is the main drawback of direct sun drying process. So now solar energy operated dryer helps to overcome most of these disadvantages, and it will helpful to the farmers and animal products. Other agricultural products commonly solar dried are potato chips, grains, maize, paddy, ginger, peas, cashew nuts, etc., etc. So it is very helpful with respect to farming and other animal product business. Now last application is solar water distillation. So solar water distillation is the process of using energy from the sunlight to separate the fresh water from the salt or other contaminants or from the sea water. The untreated water absorbs heat and slowly reaching high temperatures. The heat causes the water to evaporate, then cool and condense into vapor, leaving the contaminants behind. So solar steels can be used for low capacity and self-reliant water supplying systems. Now this is the basic schematic diagram for the solar water distillation. Solar water distillers or solar stills are usually used in remote areas where there is limited access of fresh water. So solar stills or distillers are used to store the water, and in which the solar distillation process will take place. The basic principles of solar water distillations are simple yet effective, as distillation replicates the way nature makes rain. A solar still works on two scientific principles. First one is evaporation and second one is condensation. The salts and minerals do not evaporate with the water. For example, table salt does not turn into vapor until it gets to a temperature over 1400 degrees Celsius. However, it still does not take a certain amount of energy for water to turn into water vapor. While a certain amount of energy is needed to raise the temperature of kilogram of water from 0 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius, it takes place 5.5 times that much to change it from water at 100 degrees Celsius to water vapor at 100 degrees Celsius. So the main operating principle of distillation is that the difference between their temperature of vaporization. So main two things are important in distillation: evaporation and then condensation. Most of the stills are simple black bottom vessels filled with water and topped with clear glass or plastic. Most of the stills are simple black bottom vessels filled with water and topped with clear glass or plastic. Sunlight that is absorbed by the black material speeds the rate of evaporation due to the absorption of the heat by this black material. The evaporation is then trapped by the clear glass or plastic and funneled away from this point. So by evaporation and due to this glass or plastic, it is trapped by this glass or plastic and converted or condensing this vapor into the clear water or fresh water, and then it is collected to the fresh water tank. Most of pollutants do not evaporate, so they left behind. Most still needs to be about 6 square meter in size to produce enough water to a single person for a day. So for a single person use, the still must have the area of 6 meter square, and multiple solar distillation systems are required to produce a large quantity of distilled water. So number of single units are required for producing more distilled water. Now advantages of the distillation: it is a relatively cheap and low maintenance system. Second one, it can be used at the household level. We can use it at our house by simply, there are climate change adaptation and mitigation benefits are there. There are no energy cost, there are no moving parts, so very less maintenance is there. Now disadvantages for the distillation process: rate of distillation is usually very slow. It is approximately 6 liters of water per sunny day. It is not suitable for larger consumptive need. The materials required for a distiller may be difficult to obtain in some areas. If not correctly disposed of the distillation process waste, then steam can be a potential source of environmental pollution. high concentration of salt and pollutants. So its waste will be the main cause, the reason for the environment pollution. And solar energy is only available during the day, so at night we cannot complete our process without the solar energy. So these are the disadvantages for the distillation process. Now previously asked GTU questions. So first question, explain the application of solar energy for heating and distillation with neat diagram. This question was asked in May 19 for the 7 marks. Second question, explain the solar energy applications, first heating, second cooling, third drying and fourth distillation. This question was asked in January 20, each for the 1 marks. So GTU examination wise, this topic is very important. Thank you.